in the sprawling galactic civilization of Nova Roma, where the echoes of an ancient earthly empire resound through the stars, the capital world of Aeternum stands as a testament to human ingenuity and ambition. It is a city where history and futurism converge, crafting a society that reveres its past while boldly marching into the cosmos. Aeternum's skyline is a breathtaking mosaic of man-made and natural marvels. Towering arcologies reach towards the heavens, their steel and glass facades reflecting the light of the dual suns. Within these vertical farms, hydroponic gardens spiral endlessly upwards, a testament to the empire's mastery over nature and technology. Below, the streets buzz with the energy of diesel-powered chariots, their engines growling like the lions of ancient arenas, as they navigate through crowds of citizens adorned in togas woven with digital threads that shimmer with holographic patterns of laurels and eagles. It is here, in the heart of Nova Roma's power, that Proconsul Gaius Marcellus Aurelius finds himself summoned to the Senate. The Senate building itself is a marvel, a grand structure of white marble and polished bronze, outfitted with anti-gravity fields that allow its massive doors to swing open as if by magic. Inside, the chamber is illuminated by skylights that filter the outside world through a prism of colors, casting a celestial glow on the assembled senators. These men and women, the empire's elite, wear their togas with a dignity that belies the advanced technology at their fingertips. Gaius, a veteran space marine of the elite Seath Praetorian Guard, stands before them, his decorated armor a fusion of dieselpunk aesthetics and military efficiency. His helmet, under his arm, is a masterpiece of engineering capable of interfacing with both the vast network of Nova Roma and the primal forces of the universe, a nod to the Empire's unique blend of science and mysticism. The Senate's decision is grave. The Agri world of Vidian, a key colony on the fringes of imperial space, has fallen silent. Rumors of a rebellion, led by a figure claiming to be the reincarnation of Spartacus, threaten the stability of the region. Gaius is tasked with leading his Praetorians to quell this uprising and restore the flow of vital resources from Vidian II. As Gaius prepares for departure, the details of his mission consume him. The docks of Aeternum's military port are alive with activity, as the Praetorians ready their dreadnoughts for warp travel. These ships, the backbone of the Empire's fleet, are towering behemoths of steel and diesel, their engines rumbling with the promise of distant battles. The insignias of ancient legions are emblazoned on their hulls, a reminder of the eternal nature of war and conquest. The journey to Vidian II is a blur of warp tunnels and starlight, the fabric of space itself bending to the will of Nova Roma's technology. Gaius spends the voyage in contemplation, studying the reports of unrest on the Agri world and the mysterious Spartacus reborn. His thoughts are a tumult of duty, strategy, and an underlying sense of unease. What awaits them on Vidian II is unknown, but the proconsul is certain of one thing: the Empire's might is absolute, and its will shall be done. Upon arrival, the lush green world of Vidian II unfolds beneath them, a stark contrast to the metal and diesel of Aeternum. The planet's vast agri domes, visible from orbit, are silent sentinels over a world in turmoil. Gaius orders his Praetorians to prepare for landing, their armor clanking in the quiet of the ship's armory. Each suit is a masterpiece, combining the protective elements of ancient armor with the lethal efficiency of modern weaponry. As the Imperator, Gaius's flagship, descends through the atmosphere, the challenge of Vidian II looms large. The rebellion is more than a mere insurrection, it is a test of the Empire's resolve, a challenge to its very ideals. And for Gaius Marcellus Aurelius, it is the beginning of a journey that will challenge his beliefs, his loyalties, and his very soul. The stage is set for a confrontation that will echo through the halls of history, a new chapter in the storied legacy of Nova Roma. The Steel Praetorians are on the march, and the galaxy will never be the same. The Imperator touched down on the outskirts of Vidian II's main Agri Dome, a vast structure that spanned miles, its bioengineered crops a vital source of sustenance for Nova Roma. The dome, now silent, stood as a grim reminder of the fragile balance between civilization and rebellion. Gaius Marcellus Aurelius, flanked by his Praetorians, stepped onto the alien soil, his gaze sweeping across the verdant landscape that belied the turmoil beneath. The initial reconnaissance was swift. Drone scouts, shaped like the eagles of old, soared above the canopy, sending back streams of data. The rebels had been thorough, cutting off communications and sabotaging the dome's infrastructure. Yet no sign of them was found outside. It was as if the planet itself had swallowed them whole, leaving Gaius to ponder their next move. The decision was made to advance towards the Agri-Dome's control center, a hub of technology that managed the dome's operations. As they moved, the landscape around them bore witness to the military precision that defined the empire. Crops engineered to grow in any condition flourished, fed by a network of diesel-powered machines that plowed, sowed, and harvested with relentless efficiency. The march was uneventful until they reached the dome's perimeter. It was there that they encountered the first sign of resistance, a makeshift barricade behind which lay the rebels. Clad in makeshift armor, a stark contrast to the Praetorians' dieselpunk suits, they were a motley crew. Yet their eyes burned with the fire of conviction, a determination that gave Gaius pause. The ensuing skirmish was brief but intense. The Praetorians, trained for such encounters, quickly overcame the rebels, though not without cost. Amidst the chaos, Gaius caught sight of a figure observing from a distance. This was no ordinary rebel. His bearing was that of a leader, and his gaze met Gaius's across the battlefield. Spartacus reborn, if the rumors were to be believed. In the aftermath, Gaius ordered his men to secure the control center while he sought out this enigmatic leader. Their confrontation was not one of weapons, but words. Spartacus reborn, real name Lucius, was a former senator's son, disillusioned with the empire's disregard for the frontier worlds. His rebellion was born of desperation, a plea for recognition and aid. Lucius spoke of an ancient artifact, hidden on Vidian I, believed to hold the power to change the fate of the galaxy. It was this that drove him, a hope to leverage such power for the good of the forsaken colonies. Gaius, bound by duty yet moved by Lucius's words, was torn. The empire was his life, but the justice in Lucius's cause could not be denied. The revelation of the artifact prompted a temporary ceasefire. Both parties, driven by their own convictions, agreed to a joint expedition into the heart of Vidian I. The journey through the planet's dense jungles was fraught with danger, from the genetically engineered beasts that roamed wild to the remnants of ancient technology, unpredictable and powerful. Their destination was an ancient ruin, a remnant of old Earth, swallowed by Vidian I's lush growth. It was here, amidst the echoes of a bygone era, that they found the artifact. A device of unknown origin, its surface etched with symbols that predated the Empire, it pulsed with a latent energy, a promise of untold power. As they stood before it, the tension between Gaius and Lucius palpable. The artifact activated. A holographic projection illuminated the dark, revealing a message from the past. It spoke of unity, of the strength found in diversity and cooperation. The true power of the artifact was not dominion, but enlightenment, a tool to bridge divides. The revelation was profound. Gaius, a soldier of the Empire, and Lucius, a rebel with a cause, found common ground in the ancient message. The conflict on Vidian I, while far from over, had found a new path forward, one that might in time lead to peace. Gaius Marcellus Aurelius, once the Empire's iron fist, returned to the Imperator with more than just a mission completed. He carried with him the beginnings of a new understanding, a realization that the might of Nova Roma could be tempered with wisdom and compassion. As the Imperator lifted off from Vidian I, leaving behind a world on the cusp of change, Gaius knew that the challenges ahead were daunting. Yet the journey with Lucius and the discovery of the artifact had ignited a spark of hope, a belief that even the greatest of empires could learn, adapt, and evolve. The galaxy watched and waited, for the story of Nova Roma and its steel Praetorians was far from over. The rebellion of Vidian I had sown the seeds of a new era, one where the past and the future might finally converge in peace. As the Imperator made its way back to Aeternum, the heart of Nova Roma, Proconsul Gaius Marcellus Aurelius found himself at a crossroads. The encounter on Vidian I with Lucius, the self-proclaimed Spartacus reborn, and the discovery of the ancient artifact had irrevocably altered his perspective. No longer could he view the galaxy through the uncompromising lens of military might and imperial decree alone. The artifact's message, a clarion call for unity and understanding, resonated deeply within him. It was a reminder of a forgotten truth, that the strength of Nova Roma lay not in its ability to conquer, but in its capacity to bring diverse worlds together under a banner of peace and prosperity. Upon his return, Gaius was summoned to the Senate. The Grand Chamber, with its holographic frescoes and anti-gravity podiums, felt oppressively silent as he recounted the events on Vidian III. The senators listened with a mix of skepticism and intrigue as he spoke of the rebellion, the artifact, and its profound message. The revelation of the artifact and its message sparked a fierce debate among the senators. Some saw it as a threat to the Empire's authority, a tool that could undermine their control over the outer colonies. Others, influenced by Gaius's impassioned plea, recognized the opportunity it presented for a new approach to governance, one that embraced cooperation and mutual respect. In the midst of the debate, Gaius proposed a bold plan, a diplomatic mission to the frontier worlds, starting with Vidian III. This path to Concordia, as he called it, would seek to address the grievances of the colonies, using the artifact's message as a foundation for negotiation and reconciliation. With the support of a faction of forward-thinking senators, Gaius's proposal was reluctantly approved. The empire, so long governed by the iron fist of military might, would extend an olive branch to its most distant subjects. It was an unprecedented move, fraught with uncertainty, but buoyed by the hope of a lasting peace. Gaius assembled a diverse delegation for the mission, including diplomats, scholars, and even a few former rebels from Vidian III who had been swayed by the artifact's message. Together, they embarked on a journey that would take them to the far reaches of Nova Roma's domain. Their first stop was Vidian III, where Lucius and his followers awaited. The reunion between Gaius and Lucius was a poignant moment, a symbol of the potential for change. Together, they addressed the people of Vidian III, sharing the story of the artifact and the promise it held for a new relationship between the colony and the empire. The path to Concordia was not without its challenges. Skepticism and old grievances were hard to overcome, and more than once, the mission teetered on the brink of failure. Yet, with each world visited, with each dialogue opened, the momentum grew. Stories of the mission's efforts spread across the galaxy, igniting a spark of hope in even the most disillusioned hearts. As the mission continued, the impact of the artifact's message became increasingly evident. Agreements were reached, conflicts were resolved, and slowly the fabric of the empire began to change. The path to Concordia, once a mere vision, was becoming a reality. Years passed, and the galaxy watched in wonder as Nova Roma transformed. The empire, once feared for its might, was now respected for its wisdom. The colonies, once restive under the yoke of imperial control, were now proud partners in a grand experiment of unity and cooperation. Gaius Marcellus Aurelius, the soldier who had once served the empire with unwavering loyalty, had become a beacon of hope for a new era. His journey from the battlefields of Vidian III to the halls of diplomacy had shown the galaxy that change was possible, that from the ashes of conflict could rise a future bright with the promise of peace. And so, as the Imperator returned once more to Aeternum, its mission completed, Gaius looked out upon the stars with a sense of accomplishment and wonder. The path to Concordia had been long and fraught with challenges, but it had led Nova Roma to a new dawn, a testament to the power of unity and the enduring spirit of hope. Years had passed since the establishment of the path to Concordia, and the galaxy had never been more united. The seeds sown by Gaius and his delegation had blossomed into a robust framework of mutual respect and shared prosperity among the myriad worlds of Nova Roma. The empire, once a symbol of domination, had transformed into a beacon of hope and collaboration. In the heart of Aeternum, the capital's skyline had evolved. Alongside the towering arcologies and diesel-powered chariots, new structures rose: forums for interstellar dialogue, libraries dedicated to the preservation of knowledge from all corners of the galaxy, and monuments commemorating the journey toward peace. The Senate, once a chamber of contention, now served as a round table where representatives from across the empire gathered to discuss and decide on matters affecting the collective well-being. Gaius Marcellus Aurelius, retired from his duties as a proconsul, had taken up a new role as an advisor to the Senate and an ambassador of peace. His experience and wisdom were invaluable assets in guiding the younger generation of leaders who looked up to him as a mentor and a hero of the empire. On the anniversary of the path to Concordia's inception, a grand ceremony was held in Aeternum. Citizens from every corner of the empire, human and alien alike, converged on the capital to celebrate the achievements of the past years. The highlight of the ceremony was the unveiling of a new monument, a statue of Gaius and Lucius standing side by side, with the ancient artifact positioned at their feet, its surface reflecting the unified light of the galaxy. As Gaius stood before the assembled crowd, he reflected on the journey that had led them to this moment. The battles fought, the lives lost, and the compromises made all had paved the way for a future that once seemed unattainable. He spoke of the importance of remembering the past, not as a source of division, but as a foundation upon which to build a brighter tomorrow. In the years that followed, the Nova Roman Empire embarked on a new mission: exploration and discovery, not for conquest but for knowledge. The mysteries of the galaxy, once viewed through the lens of strategic advantage, were now approached with curiosity and wonder. The ancient artifact, a symbol of the Empire's transformation, played a key role in this new era, its message of unity inspiring countless expeditions into the unknown. As the Empire expanded its horizons, it encountered other civilizations, some vastly different in culture and technology. These encounters, once potential sparks for conflict, were now opportunities for dialogue and exchange. The path to Concordia had shown that differences could be bridged, that common ground could be found among even the most disparate of beings. Gaius, in his twilight years, looked out over the galaxy with a sense of peace. The empire he had served, the worlds he had helped unite, stood as a testament to the power of understanding and cooperation. The legacy of Concordia was not just the peace it had brought but the promise it held for the future. As the stars twinkled above Aeternum, Gaius knew that the journey was far from over. There would be challenges, setbacks, and trials, but the path they had chosen, one of concord and collaboration, was the true way forward. The galaxy, once divided by the shadows of the past, now shone with the light of a shared destiny. And in that light, the future was limitless. Love the story? Please be sure to leave this video a like. It helps us a ton. If you'd like to help the channel and help us get more stories out there, you can subscribe and drop a comment too. Thank you all for getting us this far.